Welcome back to the second part of everything you need to know about Violet Evergarden. Today we'll take a closer look into the second trailer, as well as 3 more characters from the website.
お客様がお望みならどこでも駆けつけます。自動手記人形サービスバイオレット・エヴァーガーデンです。
So let me first apologize for taking so damn long to complete this second part of my analysis, but things came up, stuff got a little bit hectic, so I just had to take care of that and never really got a chance to finish this video. But things have cleared up now, and I was able to put together this proper analysis, so yeah, hope you enjoy. So let's start off with a look at 3 more characters from the novel that we may see in the upcoming animation. First off is a character that goes by the name of Benedict Blue. He's described as the postman at CH Mail Services. His speech and attitude are said to be awful, but he's actually a kind man at heart. He calls Violet Vi and meddles in her business one way or another due to worrying over her. He has strong fighting skills and is always arguing with Catalea. Now, Catalea Baudelaire is another Auto Memories doll that works at CH Mail Services like Violet. So she's our first look at a different type of Auto Memories doll other than the single one that we've seen all this time, which was Violet. She is said to have strong emotions like humans and deep feelings, as well as possesses unique strength and feminine sensitivities. Therefore, she's put in charge of many of the lovesick clients. She's also in love with Hodgins, which, in case you didn't remember, is the owner of the CH Mail. But anyway, she's currently worrying about her constant appeals to him. So something interesting about her also is that her name is actually of that of an orchid, which may lead me to believe that all the Auto Memories dolls are named after flowers, since Violet is just a longer form of viola. And you'll see that the viola has more significance in the trailer as well. And finally, we have a much different character from what we're used to, which adds a lot more depth and mystery to the story as a whole. This character is named Lux Sybil. She's described as a young girl who was worshipped as a demigod at a utopia on the island of Chevalier. Now keep in mind that the word utopia was put into quotations, meaning that may not necessarily have been the case, but it may have actually been some sort of imprisonment for her where she was kept against her will on this island as an object of worship. So the description goes on to say that after Violet rescued her, she now works as Hodgins' secretary at CH Mail Services. She's a gentle girl with a strong core and becomes Violet's first tea friend. So now we've gotten a look at 3 more characters. However, I think Benedict and Catalea will only be supporting characters who we see from time to time at CH Mail, whereas Lux will have her own short story arc similar to that of Oscar and Anne. However, we've yet to see them in either of the trailers so far, so that may not be true. But let's take a closer look to see what we can find in the second trailer that was released about a month ago. Oh, and a quick reminder that if you have read the light novel, please don't leave any spoilers in the comments. But feel free to leave any speculations that you have about the show, as well as your own insights into any of the scenes. I love reading everyone's different perspectives on things, so I look forward to seeing what you guys think as well. So right off the bat, one thing that I like about these trailers is that Kyoto Animation wastes absolutely no time getting into the trailer. There's no title screen, no dates, no text screen. They know that they have little time to show what they want to show, so they use as much of it as they can from the beginning. Which is also why, if you blink, you'll literally miss something, since about every 1 to 3 frames they transition scenes. And I'm going to preface this by saying, in the next 18 to 20 seconds of the trailer, you'll see about an entire year of Violet's life. But I'll explain what I mean by that towards the end, after we've seen a majority of the trailer first. So, we first start off by getting a look of what I assume to be is Violet's hair flowing in the wind along with some flowers. They're not cherry blossom petals, but rather a purple type, which could be either a Catalea orchid or the viola that I was talking about recently. I personally think that it's a viola, which is a flowering term that shares the same meaning as violet. I mean, it would also make sense if they used a viola as the flower to represent Violet, especially since they're using flowers as naming references. But enough of the small things. The scene quickly transitions to what we can assume to be is Violet's feet walking on a cobblestone path. Now, you're going to notice that throughout the trailer that we get a lot of scenes of Violet walking, but it's the background of the path that she's taking that is the important thing to notice, so you're going to want to keep that in mind for the rest of the trailer. We then get a scene of Violet in what I assume to be a hospital for 2 reasons. One is that there are multiple beds and it's a room that resembles one of those Victorian era type hospital rooms, as well as for the more obvious reason is that Violet has bandages across her head and is in what looks like to be a patient's outfit. So now we've transitioned to Violet walking on nice green pastures. Nothing too important to notice here other than the nice details put into animating the wind style effect, and the weather appears to be nicer. So now we get a somewhat closer look at Violet, but not quite her full character yet. There's a few things to notice here. Since she's walking behind a cart as well as carrying a suitcase, there's the possibility that she's walking into a village or a city of some sort. Given it's an archway, it's probably the entrance to some sort of public area. So this is also where I'd like to start guessing on some stuff. I'm thinking that the path of where Violet is walking is just a little representation of where Violet's heading, and then the scene that directly precedes that is the location corresponding to that background. So basically, we see Violet walking somewhere, but then get a quick look at her end destination. In this particular scene, there's also the two black bars across the screen, which could be the point of view of someone looking through a window and seeing Violet walk into the village, but that's entirely speculation. So now we see Violet's mechanical hand sealing an envelope, probably just to give us a closer look into her design as an Auto Memories doll. Then Violet can be seen on a different path, maybe the one after leaving the village. She's walking through a pond, but nothing too significant here either. But this next scene, if you blink too soon, you'd miss something because there was a key element of the previous trailer. For 2 frames right here, you can see the envelopes from the first trailer that carry the CH Mail Services seal, all while Violet is riding on top of a train. Maybe she's hitching a ride, or maybe this is an action scene, but it's hard to tell because slightly farther ahead of Violet in the bottom left hand corner, there's clearly smoke there. So maybe this is the CH Mail Services transport train to carry letters from one place to another, and it's been sabotaged or attacked, and now one of the carts are on fire. That may be a stretch though, since it's entirely just a judgment from visual analysis. And now we're back to yet another different path, a more rocky, less distinguished one, and it's hard to clearly see with the rain distorting the background. But then we get to see that she's in a mountain area as we get a full stormy view of her geographic location. Now, when I watched this trailer for the first time, I didn't even see this scene because it was only up for about 2 frames. But we can clearly see a depressed looking Violet here, but more importantly, a background location with coastline and scenery. Now, I tried looking up where this coast could potentially be from by matching images to the background, but the best I could come up with was either something along the Bosphorus Strait in Turkey or the Lisbon coast. But what's more important is seeing the changes in scenarios. The trailer has only been showing for 9 seconds and we've been through 4 different locations, which could potentially reinforce my theory of it being a short story arcs about Violet's past with one overlapping arc that returns to Violet's present at CH Mail Services. Not only that, but the point that we're seeing a full year of Violet's life is becoming more evident given that the seasons seem to be changing as well as the drastic differences in Violet's location. The next scene is Violet putting the red wax over the previously mentioned letter to make the seal that we saw so often in the previous trailer. Now, here's where things get a little bit more interesting. Throughout this trailer, Violet has been wearing the same outfit for its entirety, whereas in the first trailer, she was wearing a different outfit for each short story that was shown. So perhaps all the events that we see here in this trailer takes place all in a concurrent timeline, which makes this next scene with Violet's arm even more intriguing. Her arm is clearly falling apart with no apparent reason as to why, but you can see that there are white strings that are holding her together as well as all the little pieces such as the nuts and bolts. So we were given a look into the literal inner workings of Violet as a character, perhaps to serve as a reminder that she is just an Auto Memories doll. So here we get an even faster flurry of scene transitions, starting with Violet walking away from what looks to be a fancy party with paper falling from the sky. Nothing too significant here, but then someone seems to be mad at Violet. Perhaps Violet didn't do her job properly. Then we get a picture of a blimp that is dropping some sort of cargo, potentially the papers that we saw 2 scenes ago at the fancy party. This scene right here. It's probably the most significant because of that pendant that Violet always wears, and just like in the first trailer, this pendant seems to play an important role, or at the least, be important to Violet. Maybe it was a memento from the person who created her, but we'll just have to wait until the show to find out why. And this scene right here, I wasn't too sure what to make of it. It could be just KyoAni flexing their use of visual effects, or it could be something more significant, but it's too vague to make anything out of it other than that it's snowing and Violet's walking somewhere. Now, finally we get to see Violet in a different outfit, and a much more different scenario than what we're used to. This is definitely at CH Mail Services given that all the letters she is lying on, and the white dress is something that we've never seen Violet in before. But what led her to this vulnerable state is probably the question to be asked for this scene. And this next one, this one's just cute. That's really all there is to say about it, but if I was to say something more, the fact that she sleeps with a teddy bear and it looks to bring some form of comfort to her may serve as a different reminder that even though she is a doll, she still has some form of human emotion. And finally, we get the last scene of Violet's path. It's completely whited out by snow, so this makes me think that we've made a trip through the 4 seasons. In the 18 seconds that this trailer has been going on for, they've showed us a full year of Violet's life. Here, take a look. We start with what is spring-like weather on the cobblestone path, then summer because the colors are even brighter with the sun at its peak and all its green pastures. Then it gets darker and more cooler with the colors until it's completely dark and raining, so it could be fall. And now we're at winter, where Violet officially introduces herself by saying, "I will run as fast as I can to wherever my customer desires. I am the Auto Memories doll, Violet Evergarden."
お客様がお望みならどこでも駆けつけます。自動手記人形サービスバイオレット・エヴァーガーデンです。
And she's still carrying her suitcase, so what I'm piecing together from this is that she just roams throughout this early Victorian era Europe, going from village to village to help out wherever she may be needed. Or she's sent out as a member of CH Mail Services to assist their customers with their requests. Either way, the transition of locations, backgrounds, and weather signifies that Violet does not stay in one place for too long. But I just want to point out KyoAni's way of transitioning from winter back to summer here. It starts as a gorgeous winter scenario with a side view of Violet, then switches to a front view where she proceeds to take her hood off. As she takes her hood off, the sun follows suit, almost as if being uncovered, where we then get a full close-up view of Violet's face. And then, a flower petal brings us full round back to where we started. The same purple viola flowers that we saw in the very first scene, but they're not the same scene. In the first scene, we only see Violet's hair, but it's flowing with the wind and it's much longer because it's not in a ponytail. Now keep that in mind because in the final scene, Violet's hair is in a ponytail, and although the background and scenario looks the same, it can't be the same for that reason. So I believe that it could be that we just saw a peek into a complete year of Violet's life as she traveled or worked for CH Mail, assisting people that needed help. But all in all, this trailer was mainly a character reveal for Violet. The style that KyoAni uses to showcase Violet is great as well. We never get a full close look at Violet's face until the end, and they ease us into it by slowly showing us closer and closer shots of her, until finally we get a straight view of it. Rather than opening with her face, they showcase different aspects of her character as if to build up who she is before the final reveal at the end. And it's just great. But other than that, I don't think I can say too much more other than what's already been said in either my first video or this video. So I'm going to leave my analysis at that for now, and hopefully in the future, we'll be able to see more of Violet Evergarden so I can talk more about it. So, as always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime content, then you already know what to do. So until next time, ciao!